Hi, my name is Stefania, and I just completed the Organic Erotic Experience. The process of Organic Erotic really began when I first went to the website and I just got curious of like, what is this whole experience around emptying out? Because in my life, I was going through this phase of like, I have so much going on that I really need to purge. And purge always felt really aggressive. So there was this introduction to this new language around emptying out and how it actually felt really nutritive to let go of things. And so I got more and more curious. I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to submit my application. There's no harm, no foul. And as I was going through the application itself to get a consultation with my organic erotic consultant, my guide, I started thinking about like, well, what room do I want to put my attention on? And I started thinking, well, it was going to be my kitchen. I'm going to completely clear out my kitchen. I'm not going to have my plastic Rubbermaid anymore. Like I'm just going to totally transform my kitchen. And then once I actually got onto my consultation call, what came up was like, oh no, there's stuff underneath my bed. And I couldn't even put any attention on my kitchen at all. It was like, no, the thing that is actually requiring my attention to empty out is all of the clutter that's in my bedroom. Well, I started dating again. And it's funny because it's like, I have, since starting Organic Erotic, I've actually opened to dating. I haven't fully opened to the relationship yet, but actually leaving my house, going to meet people and engaging with people. I actually have more energy for it now. And it's funny because in a logical sense, it's like, well, how does the clutter in your bedroom actually affect that? And it's like, well, maybe not scientifically or whatever you want to call it, but truly for me, in letting go of the things that helped me remain isolated by myself, that allowed me to keep disconnecting from other people, that didn't even honor the things that I wanted to be honored, shoving them in this box. Once I actually shifted all of that, it was like, oh, I could wake up and say, oh, I actually want to flirt with this guy at the coffee shop. Or, oh, I do want to accept that guy's date. Or, oh, I want to get to know this person. We have nothing in common, but I actually want to get to know who they are as a person. There was more energy for me in my life because it wasn't being stored in all the stuff that I was holding on to. I 100% created more space for my desires by emptying out my physical space. Like, that's absolutely the case. And I think it's funny because I grew up with hoarder parents. My dad was like addicted to antiques, still is to this day. My mom loves her tchotchkes. And so I grew up with stuff just surrounding me all the time. And I remember at one point in my life, I was like, nope, I'm a minimalist. I want nothing. And I didn't wear color in my wardrobe. I had very little things that I owned. I was always throwing stuff out. But then I also couldn't appreciate the things that I had. Like I was just willing to go without for so much just because I was compensating for the way that I grew up. And I think during this whole container through Organic Erotic, there's been this experience of, wait a minute, we don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like there are certain things that do contribute to my life and the quality of my life and the way that I live and the way that I love that I can have, and I can have them fully. So receiving the Organic Erotic box was so exciting because I walked into my mailroom and there's just like, it's empty, but this box that just says Organic Erotic. I was like, oh my God, my entire apartment building is going to be so fascinated about what's in this box. And there was this part of me that was like cheeky and joyful and like, yeah, I want them to be curious because I'm also curious. I brought it upstairs. I left it on my kitchen island and I just let it sit there. And I was like, I don't have the capacity to open it right now, but I'm just going to let it sit there. And then a couple hours later, I was like, okay, I'm going to open it. And then again, there's this like all of this really excited energy that I was like, I just want to see everything. I want to read everything. And so I took it all out of the box like a little kid on Christmas. And then I had to, again, slow down deliberately to receive everything that was put in that box, because it can be really easy to do, like, you know, the shopping hauls, like, look at my haul, but you don't actually receive those things fully. Like, I love this because of the texture or the weight of it or the warmth and the color or whatever. And so after I unboxed everything and I took a look at it all, I just let it sit on my counter. I think I had it sit there for 3 days. And then across those 3 days, I kept picking up something, feeling into it, reading the little card that comes with it to describe like why it was chosen for me. And ultimately, when my guide messaged me, she was like, hey, let me know what you're sending back. I was like, nothing. I think anyone that's starting their organic erotic journey is better off just giving themselves as much space and time as they possibly can. Like setting aside a weekend just to do nothing but be in your organic erotic process would have benefited me way more than trying to make it fit. And I also think what's beautiful about the whole process is like it's going to cost you nothing to empty out. It's cost you nothing to circulate. The only thing it costs you is like your reception. Like, are you actually willing to receive these things? And even then, if you're like, actually, no, these aren't for me, you return them. There's something really beautiful in that. It's like, it doesn't cost you anything. And I'm not even just talking about like money. It doesn't really cost you time to empty out the things that you've been avoiding emptying out. Like, it didn't cost me anything. What cost me is not emptying out underneath my bed. It cost me all of the energy. It cost me all of the joy. It cost me all of the rest because I was preoccupied with the clutter in my bedroom. And then once I decided that I wasn't going to waste my time being preoccupied with that anymore, I could empty it all out. And now I have a space. Like, I literally am looking in my bedroom and I'm like, there's nothing on the floor. Nothing. It's a clean floor. And it hadn't been cleaned for months. And so there's literally nothing to lose but the things that you've been unnecessarily attached to. And then maybe, if it's true, something to gain that's more aligned anyway.